and then follow the arrow. Drivers Auto Supplies, quality tires and good prices. Telephone numbers 277-0505 or 277-6151. Come get your quality tires today.
More megabytes, better prices. Choose how you move on the go with Digicell's new best data value plans starting from $2.50. Digicel has expanded your prepaid data options with the addition of 3 7-day data plans of up to 1 gigabyte, 3 30-day plans of up to 3 gigabytes, plus a 1-day and 14-day data plan. Activate today by dialing *140# and enjoy data plans at the best value. Digicel, be extraordinary.
Now let's talk. A big day in the court, the high courts. Yesterday, Carlisle John Baptist was present. And he's here with us this morning to tell us what went on there. Carlisle, good morning.
Hi, Matt. Morning to you many listeners. What's up?
Good. Big day in the courts yesterday.
Well, yeah, another, I'm not saying big, but another busy day as the criminal session of the 2017 matter opened at the High Court yesterday. The criminal session of the court opened yesterday. We had a number of matters on the list, about 45. We had 2 for sentencing, and but we had a few guilty pleas. We had McDonald Lafont pleading guilty for grievous bodily harm with intent, where he caused grievous bodily harm in Kinfield in 2011 on Brian Ryan. We also had Edison Kurt Pemberton, who pleaded guilty to on grievous bodily harm. Also, the incident took place on 23rd November 2015 on Bianca Blanchard. Pemberton is to be sentenced on the 10th of February. We also had Anthony Mingo, who pleaded guilty. There were 2 counts of arson. On the 10th of June 2016, he pleaded guilty to the first count, not guilty to the second count. We had Miguel Samuel, who pleaded guilty to grievous bodily harm also. And we had the 3 Chinese nationals who, speaking through an interpreter, pleaded guilty to theft of the incident took place between July 5 and 9, 2016 in an amount of $104,705 at the property of the National Bank of Dominica. So those are the many guilty pleas. Of course, here we also had a number of matters of causing death by dangerous driving. We have a number of murder matters also on the list. But those did not come up because some of them, the individuals were already arraigned. And like I told you earlier on, we also have a number of sexual matters, but it's really annoying. The amount of them, bestiality, unlawful sexual intercourse, indecent assault, rape, and we also have a number of theft matters, but also very, very interesting that the amount of grievous bodily harm, the amount of grievous bodily harm matters that we have on the list is serious cause for concern. I'm looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, at least 7 plus, and also the amount we have about 3 causing death by reckless driving. That too should be a serious concern to people in Dominica. People are injuring people and people are driving recklessly on our roads. So those are cause for concern. Besides the amount of sexual matters, I see on my list there: rape, indecent assault, attempted burglary, abduction, detention, bestiality, attempted burglary. So very, very interesting matters, and it's something that society needs to look at also. And of course, we have about 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me see, there 5, 6, 7. So there's about 7 murder matters or thereabout on the list. So things are happening in Dominica, man.
A lot of things are happening in Dominica, Carlisle. I imagine, as I keep saying, I think this country need prayers, Carlisle. We're getting some new information as it relates to the shooting incident in Point Michelle. Are you aware of what's going on?
Yes, I am aware. My understanding is that the police, they have someone of interest in custody, assisting them in that investigation. So I'm hoping that...
So no charges just yet, it's just questioning?
No. Yes, just questioning someone of interest, and is assisting the police in the investigation into that matter. It's early days yet. You can question someone and, of course, hold them for 72 hours and then release them. And then, then you move on, and then you can question them again. And if you feel there's nothing, you can release them. But like I said, it's early days yet, so the investigation continue into those matters.
All right, Carlisle. Well, we'll keep watching and keep monitoring and bring you the latest as they become available. Thank you very much, Carlisle John Baptist. Carlisle?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you there?
Yes,
there's some news in the air about you and some Calypso, Carlisle. Can you clear that up for us, please? A lot of people asking me. How was that?
What is the news? That's the question.
The question is whether Carlisle, because of that song called I, is attempting to take the Calypso writer or Calypsonian to the court in terms of legal action. Are you contemplating that, Carlisle?
Matt, I will answer that very simply. Once there are anything that are defamatory to one's character, or perceived to be defamatory to one's character, people must be concerned.
Okay.
And that's simple as that. Once and if something is not defamatory, then it's not defamatory. Okay. That is as simple as that. If it is defamatory, it is defamatory. And that is the long and short of the matter. A Calypso has been penned. If you listen to it, Matt, you've listened to it. I have listened to it, and we know what is in the Calypso. So let's tell the public. Don't worry yourself about the art form. I will do nothing, Matt, to stifle the art form. You know me better than that. I will do nothing to stifle the art form. Once it's good Calypso, all right. I might even find myself on stage. And it's not the first time I would be going on stage. I went on stage a few times. I went on stage with King Observer. I went on stage with The Rose. So I've been on stage. So once it's good Calypso, and I can assist in propping up the Calypsonian and the art form.
So in other words, Carlisle John Baptist, the Calypso can play on.
I simply told you, once it's good Calypso, it's good Calypso. let's get the ball rolling, brother.
Thank you very much, Carlisle John Baptist. Call I. $822. Hello, talk to me.
Matt, good morning.
How you doing?
I good. Matt, you too like a road. No trouble.
What trouble?
You like a roll.
If it was somebody else, you let me ask the question.
Behave yourself. Thank you.
4493095-823. But talking to Kalai, I don't think he has any problems with that particular Calypso. Some minor concerns, but I think he's gone past that. 823. Hello.
Matt, good morning.
Morning to you. How you doing?
I'm okay, thanks.
Good.
I'm interrupting your program for a minute.
Why are you interrupting my program? It has to be important.
Yes, I would like to tell Solid Waste that the garbage in Mount Prospect is beyond its time. It needs to come out 2 weeks now. At the front of the school and the health center, it is not healthy. Please, Solid Waste.
Solid waste. Hello, talk to me. Hello.
What's up?
All right, my brother.
Listen, man, I appreciate Kalai but it's not call. You got to say it in the Jamaican twang. Kalai. Yes, thank you.
I know. You see, are you there?
Yeah.
You see, a lot of people have a little confusion. You're trying to get them to understand what's really being said in that Calypso there.
I understand.
You understand me now? All right. So, the Jamaican twang, huh? Thank you very much. Kalai. All right. Thank you very much, man.
And Kalai shouldn't say he might be on stage, man. He should just surprise the people, man.
I agree with you, man. I agree with you.
Yeah, he should say it, man. He should just come on stage, make it more exciting. You know what I'm saying?
Will you be with us for the carnival?
I might be on stage with Kalai too.
Hello, talk to me.
Good morning, man. How are you doing?
How you doing, my brother?
Okay, let me tell you. I also have a concern with solid waste. But I think my concern should go beyond solid waste and start with me. If solid waste is not coming up, we know they are not coming up, why should we place our garbage outside and then call on solid waste and tell solid waste, come on, take the garbage? It's not the garbage. It's our garbage we place by the road, and things are not solid waste garbage. It's our garbage. I have the problem too, but I try my utmost not to put garbage outside unless I'm sure that it's going to be picked up.
I heard the Prime Minister saying this morning, let's be more responsible with our garbage collection.
Yeah, we have to be responsible. We have to manage our garbage properly. You understand? People by the roadside have everything smelling and saying, sorry, we'll come and manage it. No, that is our garbage. So we have to manage our garbage properly. And in turn, when we sure the truck is coming up, put the garbage by the road and the truck pick it up, but not put it there every morning. People leaving up every morning garbage and put it by the road, put it by the road. They know the truck not coming up and they're doing that. Anyway, Carla,
Thank you very much. 826. It's 827. Hello.
Yes, good morning, Matt.
To you.
I have a message from Mr. Badwill.
Who's Badwell?
Anyway, I heard you talk about like the building the hotel and stuff like that and trying to increase for tourism. But it's one thing I want them to know. They don't have access for tourism, especially with people with wheelchair access. Because I was coming from Roswell last week, and there were two gentlemen on a wheelchair. And when they reach as far as Suki's, where Suki have his gas before, there was nowhere for them to go. So I had to tell them they have to go back to the ship. And that's very sad for Dominica.
You see, no sidewalk access for these people.
No, and then I don't know why they want to increase in tourism. Where they're going to have these people? Because number one is not only normal people that could only walk on the street. There's people with wheelchair and other disability that they cannot manage.
Mm-hmm.
So where are they going to go? So I would like them to do something if they really want to increase in tourism.
All right, that's a significant point there. 828. $8.29, hello.
Matthew, morning to you and your listeners.
My brother.
Tomorrow evening at 6:30 p.m., we are asking all of the residents of Canefield to come down to the Canefield Urban Council building. 6:30 p.m. The people of Canefield need to know what transpired with their funds. They need to know where we are, where we come from, and where we wish to go.
You've been talking about that for a few weeks now, Kopel. Is there something some very interesting issues to be discussed at that meeting?
Very interesting issues, because when we run council election, we promise to be open and transparent with the people of Canefield. Is on that basis that they place their trust and their confidence in us. When we get there, Matt, things was not working as it should, and so therefore, rather than they hearing it in the public domain, we need to have a meeting with the residents so we can explain to them, as I say, eyebrow will be raised at that meeting. So they must come to the meeting and hear what is happening to their council. It is their responsibility. We did not place ourselves there. It is the people of Canefield who put us in the office that we are in. So we are supposed to be the humble servant of the people of Canefield and give them effective representation. And they have a right to scrutinize us. They have a right to ask of us questions, and it has to be answered. We have to be the humble servant of the people of Canefield, and that is what we promised to do, and that's just what we are doing, Matt.
Thank you very much, Kopal. I imagine this would be a very eye-opening meeting there. We're going to come back after this.
Madam, I report exactly what she made in the pharmacy where Harry did the bossing flag. If you want to support and learning, it is how cafe Episa and not well my last 2 words. Episa. Harry upon yes is true. Pisa money on Tipotla. Doctor him up to make a urine and zemo 3 times a day. Madam Leely, do urine Harry, mew no medicine to save are you. And where's the prescription? It is me a posh mommy. What's the sense of buying that? Lemoka PC tout temps. No, you see the importance of going to your pharmacist, listening to your pharmacist, and having confidence in your pharmacist. PS.Plus will they place a higher premium on patient-pharmacist relationship than Quick Care Pharmacy Kote Halsbro just before the National Bank. Kote Quick Care is not just a quick fix. It's not just about tablets and spoonfuls. They brought back the care into medicine. Whether it's a prescription or over-the-counter medication, the priority is your health. To take the right medication, the right amount for the right reason. Madam Harry, I see right in your medical book, next of kin, Henrietta Harry, movie farmer. By the way, is next of kin, her king, the Harry Ukaki movies. All I want for you is good care. That is why I always recommend Quick Care Pharmacy because they have
Available at Drivers Auto Supplies. Very good quality used tires in sizes 13, 14, 16, and 17. Also available at some size 15s such as 195-5515 and 195-6015. Good for cars, SUVs, and minibuses, etc. The used tires are really in excellent condition. Visit us today at 51 Porter Street, Portersville. Just look for the tire rack opposite the road by ACS 711 Portersville and then follow the arrow. Drivers Auto Supplies, quality tires and good prices. Telephone numbers 27705 0505 or 277-6151. Come get your quality tires today.
We're going to come back, of course, after this. Hello, talk to me.
Hi, Matt. Good morning.
Mm-hmm.
Back to the solid waste story.
Okay.
Gentleman who said about you don't know the truck is coming. Where I live, the garbage bins are half a mile from where I live. On my way out, I put the garbage on a Wednesday night because garbage is supposed to be collected on a Thursday. Is this gentleman trying to tell me that when I come back in and the garbage was not collected, I must go through the bins, take my garbage and bring it back home? No, solid waste has changed the pickup day for this area. Had I not been at Mass on Sunday, I would not know that the day was changed because it was announced at Mass that the change of date was no longer Thursday, but Wednesday. There's not been a notice on the radio. So solid waste has to take the responsibility for informing people because we cannot assume whether they're coming or they're not coming. And when the date is changed and you don't know, if I didn't go to Mass, I wouldn't know. So all parties concerned, take note.
Hello, thank you very much. This is the big station, the Hot Sip.
More megabytes, better prices. Choose how you move on the go with Digicel's new best data value plans starting from $2.50. Digicel has expanded your prepaid data options with the addition of 3 7-day data plans of up to 1 gigabyte, 3 30-day plans of up to 3 gigabytes, plus a 1-day and 14-day data plan. Activate today by dialing *140# and enjoy data plans at the best value. Digicel, be extraordinary.
All right. Good morning to you. Hey, Angelo, my partner down there, I know you're listening at this time. Please contact the office of David Brody, okay? Angelo Allen, please contact the office of David Brody. It's very important. Hello, talk to me there. Are you there?
Yes, good morning, Mr. Mark.
Good morning to you, sir.
And how are you?
Okay.
How is the family?
Okay.
Mr. Mark, I myself, when I talk, I know people always disagree, but it's Mr. Mark. If we boosting the tourist industry, Mr. Mark, not on my area, but it's on Loda. Mr. Mark, every day have tourists at Loda. If they don't visit the Boiling Lake, they visit T2 Gorge and Freshwater Lake. But when you're going down after the road to go down to the church, not that direction, going down to the power station, I passed there on Tuesday. Mr. Mark, is a disgrace to look at. You have tourists, to encourage tourists, and that their custom coming up on Thursday. Now it's over 2 weeks. But I'm calling on those people that living in this area. We're supposed to make our village proud. As soon as the truck take the rubbish, they're coming back with the rubbish for that 2 weeks, piling up there. And when they finish, dogs spreading that in the road, it's not looking pleasant. People living in that area, try to manage your rubbish in a proper manner. You want the dollar, try to make sure, have pride for yourself and have pride for those people that coming up to visit that area. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, bye-bye. All right. Okay, let's take another phone call there. Hello.
Good morning, Matt.
My brother, how you doing?
Not bad at all, not bad at all.
Okay.
Matt, I have a concern with respect to those people who have investments, at Portsmouth, targeting Ross University, housing area. Matt, right now, the situation is such that you have, let's say, about 4,000 rooms right now available. But the occupancy rate is about 40% because, you don't have all the students coming in again.
Okay.
Yet, we see a number of hotels being built in that area, bringing further competition on the people. Matt, the honest truth is that some people are facing closure of their businesses. I mean, I don't know, you have a PAL I don't know when last the PAL has met his constituents or the business owners. And they can call in, to share their own thing. I mean, some of them may be okay, they have occupants and so, but you don't look for yourself. But you have to be concerned when you have all these hotels being built on enough, bringing further competition to a business that already not bright for you. And I don't know.
So you're saying our rooms are empty, 60% of our rooms are empty, yet we're building more hotels.
That is correct, but the government is coming there some kind of policy to regulate this sector because, at the end of the day, you have to pressure on people. Remember I told you people are facing closure of their business and subsequently they might lose their property. And I'm not hearing that as a topical issue, as a hot potato issue. You're hearing all sorts of things. You know how they could do it, how they could work with those people to see, well, how you can transform some of the buildings, how they can do, I don't know if they can try to make some of the buildings do other business, I don't know. But the government needs to come in there right now. Yes, it's private business owners, but at the end of the day, the government is coming in with a lot of projects there, they say. That's what they say. You have 2 hotels, we got another one going Peak and Purple Circle, another one again right in the vicinity there. So they must address that matter, People, I mean, and I don't know what the people of Portsmouth are doing. I'm really believing that is a concern and that the government should really seek to meet the people and address that. Let's see how they can work with the people, see how they can work it through, come up with a plan. The people themselves, they must form themselves in a committee, an association, and present their case to government. Have a good morning, man.
Have a good morning. It's 8:39 in the morning. Hello.
Morning, my first birthday, sir.
To you, sir.
You see how we have in a passport conversation of the selling, the buying, the lack of accountability and transparency. And I think we should put it for a referendum. The voters of Dominica should vote, should we sell passport or should we not sell passport? And I believe the outcome will be we should not sell passport because people are not benefiting. You hear in all the Petrocarib house, it had to be financed by the Venezuelan government. Now we are in CBI. But we should have also a conversation after a referendum to see what is best for Dominica. Because the government of the day is not transparent and accountable in selling our passports. And I have another note, Matt. We should have a garbage conversation with solid waste because I was in La Plaine all weekend. The previous weekend, I traveled from the airport on the west coast going and garbage all about. That's the cause for concern in diseases, in rodents. I think solid waste need to come and tell the people the frustration they're facing. If it's finance, if it's...
One thing I have never understood, because for years I've been hearing that the environmental levy that is collected on the port is for solid waste and solid waste collection and management. What is going on with that money? That's a very important question that needs to be asked to the government. Environmental levy on every vehicle that comes in the country that's below a certain year, and we're hearing that solid waste has no monies.
Yeah, we need a garbage conversation in Dominica.
I agree.
No. Good morning, sir.
Thank you very much. Yes. Hello. What's going on with that environmental levy? Hello.
I agree with that, man. I have something to say, but when you have the garbage conversation, did you listen to President Obama's speech last night?
I was told I didn't hear it, but
democracy is citizen. Remember Ralph Gonsalves said that?
Yes.
Is the top, and Obama also said that. So listen to it. The most important part of the democracy is citizen. Have a good day, Matt.
Have a good day. And I noticed some emphasis was placed too on security threats. I think the U.S. paying a lot of attention to that in recent times. Hello, talk to me.
I have said from time to time, we can dispose of our garbage in a way that is going to be acceptable by every one of us because we all play a major role when it comes for collection of garbage. and I have made a recommendation where there is councils all over the island, be it Kinsfield Urban Council, be it Town Council, be it City Council, give them a truck. Let them deal with their garbage disposal.
By themselves?
By themselves. For areas that do not have council, like say, for example, Massac do not have a council, then solid waste would be interacting with Massac. But when solid waste have the whole of Dominica on their hand, what you expect, by the time they pick up garbage in Massac, by the time they reach in Salisbury, there is more garbage in Massac to pick up. So really there is councils on a whole. If you give them a truck, every day the council is responsible for garbage collection within that area. And areas where you do not have councils, solid waste now would intervene and will be responsible for those areas. That is a firm recommendation.
Thank you. 8:43, and not bad, Copal. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Morning, yes.
The garbage problem is not a solid waste problem, you know. It's an untidy people problem in Dominica. Because if we would all do our bit to collect our garbage, put it in a bin, wait for the truck to pick it up, there wouldn't be that problem. But Dominicans, they are very untidy. And they just throw garbage all about the place and want to blame solid waste.
Well, would you say Dominicans or some Dominicans?
Dominicans.
Some Dominicans?
Yeah, most.
All right. I know some people are going to take you up on that one. 8:44. Hello. That's why I asked you to qualify. Hello.
Bonjour, General Jacob.
General, hey, I'm happy, man. I'm happy you called in, General.
I'm listening.
Okay.
And I agree partly with Copel, Mr. Copel, about the village councils as partners with solid waste, important stakeholders, given that mandate to assist in the disposal of that. But you have to look at garbage, not only just something to be thrown away, but a reusable resource. You know, it's not garbage anymore. Overseas, what they're doing now, they're mining the landfill, looking for the cans, the plastics, the bottles, you know, the scrap metal to recycle. In Dominica, we had a survey which was done, this characterization study, which was done, which is still valid, 2002, but it's still valid. We're looking to do a new one this coming year, and 2017. It states that 45% of waste coming to that landfill, and that landfill is overwhelmed, man. It's like it's filled. We're trying to squeeze in maybe another 5-10 years, possibly, into that landfill. We don't stop from a clamoring, the smell, whatever, the stench in the area. So 45% of waste coming to that landfill is compostable. Why should waste that can rot come from Marigot, Granby, Salisbury, those places which are agricultural belts, Salisbury is the ones called as the vegetable belt of Dominica, you know, the Grand Savannah. Why should we see compostable waste coming to the landfill, filling up the landfill? The only type of waste we should see coming to that landfill is cans, plastics, bottles, you know, your old refrigerators, which are white goods, your tires. We're collecting motor vehicle oils, and now we have a problem in collecting with motor vehicle oils. The garages are on board with us. Presently, they have 45-gallon drums of oil waiting to be collected, and we're looking for a market. We have disposal of that oil. When DCP was in operation, they used to use that motor vehicle oil as fuel, you know, instead of buying, you know, gas or diesel. They would use that oil to do the operations. Now we have a problem in disposing of that oil. But we're also collecting kitchen oil to work in this operation. You freak, we have equipment. We're looking for young entrepreneurs to come on board with us to convert kitchen oil, cooking oil, which you fry your bakes and your akara and your frying fish, into diesel. This is the number of opportunities for entrepreneurs and businesses and in creating business opportunities in solid waste. So solid waste is not just something to be thrown away. We have to learn at our homes to sort our garbage at source, at our point of generation, at home, at schools, or wherever. We are going to schools, children on board with us, the schools on board with us, and we are very thankful to a number of schools who have in post of secondary school, Granby, all around, who are already educating their pupils, the students, read the need for separation of garbage. Your compost waste, your recyclable waste. You know, so that's the way we should go. Unless we see a volume of compostable waste or compost being taken on by, Mr. Cooper mentioned it, the village council collecting, helping, assisting the education process, assisting in educating people with the separation of garbage, of waste at source. You know, diverting compostable waste to farmers, to organizations who want to do compost as an income earner. Why should we be importing compost into Dominica? We have the agricultural stores, businesses importing compost into Dominica, selling one bag of compost for $25, $35, $50 a bag of compost. When they have those green materials being thrown away, dumped into the landfill, that we cannot expect solid waste to have. We need trucks, yes, we need equipment, but we cannot expect solid waste to be coming every day to collect. It's in Gambia, we have twice collection, 3 times collection in some areas. We should only be collecting garbage once a week in some areas and save that volumes of money, save the wear and tear on those vehicles. You can have those vehicles flying all of Dominica up and down, and another driver jumping into a vehicle, and the vehicles have been run aground because the volume of waste is too heavy for some of those vehicles.
Well, let me ask you a question here, General Jacob. Of course, I understand you on a number of points that you've made, but we're talking about the vehicles and the maintenance. We are hearing that solid waste has a serious financial issue in terms of managing and fixing those vehicles, they're repairing those vehicles because monies are not coming in as they should. The big question, and I asked it this morning, we've heard and for a number of years that this environmental levy collected on the ports, is basically for the maintenance and upkeep of solid waste. Can you tell us, Mr. Jacobs, what's going on with the an environmental levy?
Matt, I know that government is assisting the corporation as much as it can in the environmental levy. As we look out of our windows, to look on in the port, we can see a cruise ship coming to Dominica now. The visitors to Dominica pay $50 US or $4 EC. Anybody who comes into Dominica, expect people who are in transit or members of the diplomatic corps or children below 12 years are exempted from paying $50 US or $4 EC. But any visitor to Dominica pays that, and this comes to solid waste.
No, but I'm talking about the levy on those the older vehicles coming into Dominica. Are you satisfied, sir, that all of that monies are coming into just that levy for garbage disposal?
Matt, the problem is not giving solid waste. I'm being frank with you. Just dumping or giving solid waste X amount of money. The problem is we Dominicans understanding the need. You get solid waste 10 trucks, and people are still putting out compost. People are putting compostable waste and running trucks aground. People are don't understand that you need to separate our garbage at source. The volumes of money you may give to solid waste, thinking, well, we're going to solid waste 20 trucks, 10 trucks, or giving solid waste $10 million or whatever. Unless we have people understanding the need for separating the garbage at source, going to compost. Why it's always been in need of money. We need, as the first defense of management, the first thing we should do is ensuring that solid waste continually comes to our doorsteps, to our villages, to our homes, to our business places to collect waste. It's the need for us to understand as citizens of Dominica the need to separate our garbage at source. Unless we understand to separate compost waste, to don't put compostable waste, which is a heavy waste. Dominica has a lot of rain. When you put a food out and it's not covered, and you have all your banana peels and your kitchen waste and your grass and in that, and some people input soil, and the men have to come to leave this container. People complain to us that our men destroying their containers. The stench coming from those containers. I know some villages on the west coast, human waste, poo as they call it. Our men have to face that problem of that falling on people, on them. And some men have to dive into the sea to get themselves because they have to go back to their wives, to their girlfriends, to their children. So we Dominicans have to understand, because it's all the volumes of money, unless we at homes, at our points of generation, understand the need to separate our garbage, to go into composting, remove that 45% of waste coming into the landfill, reduce it. Then we will see that solid waste maybe don't even need $20 million. Probably, let's say, just a ballpoint, just a thing out of my head, maybe $100 or $1,000. But we are satisfied that the trucks are coming to our communities once a day collection. Roseau has 3 times a day collection, collection, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. You also have the city council in Roseau, the Roseau City Council collecting garbage, and we still see Rules sometimes you still have the men, some men, women, Sunni and others, flying every morning, every night, collecting garbage and collecting litter. We have about 67 of those wrong bins, those litter bins in Roseau, just to place litter. And we see people defacing those bins, burning those bins on occasion. We need to. It's to me, it's a re-education, but we are a reinforcement more than education, because we are now talking on the media, and when we're speaking in schools, we've been talking since the Litter Act has been enforced since 1990. So this act since 2002, and still we see people not doing what we expect them to do. So we have to put down our feet this year and enforce.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. That was Mr. General Jacob from the Solid Waste Department. 853. Hello. Are you there, caller? I suspect you're not. Hello.
Hello, Martha Peltier. This is the Brain speaking. Let me wish you a happy new year, my brother.
I wish you the same, Brain.
I have not abandoned you, even if you're not hearing me calling you, but we are very close to each other.
The brain.
I have a concern. I'll make it very short. Over the last couple of days, I've been seeing a man. I call him the poo-poo man. We have the poo-poo man, and we have the rubbish man. Mr. Tong, please, my brother, you're the minister, do something about that man. No holds barred, my brother. I don't know about human rights, but that man is really, really causing a problem with our industry. Do something with that man for me, please. Thank you, Matthias.
What is he doing? What is he doing, Brain? Defecating around the city?
The man has his entire body covered in feces.
You're joking.
My God, man, Matt, and the man is patrolling the city, and man, people are diving in every corner for cover, man. Stink. The man is just a human time bomb.
So you're saying that the authorities should do something about it?
And I'm calling not the authority. I'm calling. You see, I always afraid. Mr. Tong, the Minister of Tourism, my brother, put your foot down. Do something for us, please.
The Brain, thank you very much. 855. Hello, talk to me.
Hi, Matt. Good morning.
How you doing, brother?
Not too bad at all. You asked General Jacob a question.
Yeah.
And he drifted. You asked him about the monies they're collecting for the levy.
Mm-hmm.
He never really answered. There is an environmental levy on all stereo-type foam containers coming into the country, the plastic bottles, also the vehicles. That money is supposed to be transferred from the government treasury to solid waste. That money, I myself spoke to management of the solid waste department, and they said it doesn't get that money, and they have to be begging government for money to pay their workers and to pay whatever. Do you know that solid waste is owing one man $54,000?
Just one man?
One man, $54,000. His differential for his truck breakdown. He went to them to get some money, $11,000 for him to get a differential. They gave him a letter to take to the credit union for them to give him a loan to buy a differential for his truck, and he's not getting the money. Ask General Jacob, what are they doing? Government is picking up an environmental levy for all kind of containers and used vehicles, $3,000. That's supposed to go to solid waste to take care of the garbage. They are not doing it. You want to blame it on Compass. Another thing again, how can you have one landfill picking up the whole of Dominica rubbish? Why should rubbish have to come out Lapland and Portsmouth and Whittick and Dalit and come down to Roseau? That makes no sense. What they should be looking at is making other landfills in different places where they can dispose of garbage instead of have to be blocking one landfill with the whole of Dominica rubbish. That is what General Jacob should be looking at. Good morning. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let's see what the commentators are saying about Obama's farewell speech.
Rick Davis is a CBSN political contributor, Republican strategist, and former campaign manager for Senator John McCain's 2008 presidential bid. Yashar Ali is a contributing writer for New York Magazine. CBSN political contributor and Republican strategist Leslie Sanchez is in Houston. And CBS News political analyst and Slate chief political correspondent Jamel Bowie is in our Washington bureau. All right, so Jamel, let me start with you. First, before we get to the substance, what do you make of that emotional moment, really the most emotional moment of the speech that we just heard play there?
I think that reflects Obama's genuine, heartfelt, sincere feelings for his wife, and I think it's something that Obama supporters were probably happy to see. In a lot of ways, the Obamas, Michelle and Barack, are icons of sorts, and so this was a clear kind of sort of showing that, demonstrating that, acknowledging the extent to which they have played this role over the past 8 years.
So let's now move to what we heard in the way of substance here. The president didn't just make a case for some of his achievements. He seemed to do a round robin, essentially, on everything that's been concerning some Americans from the beginning of his time in office right through last year's election. So what do you think was the most effective part of the president's speech? Let me ask you, Yashar.
Well, it depends on what you were looking to come out of it. If you wanted to take a ding at Trump, the most effective part was, I think the one line is that, we don't discriminate against Muslims. That was a clear shot at Trump. I mean, I cannot imagine in any other scenario where an outgoing president would mention something so specific if it weren't for the person that was taking over for him. But in terms of what was effective in terms of his legacy, I think the last part, that's what reminded folks of the Obama that they loved. And, one thing that I think a lot of Republicans and Democrats agree on is the fact that the Obamas have served as a family, as a model for what a first family should look like. They have been scandal-free. And that, I think we were reminded of that tonight.
Yeah, Rick, what do you make of that? I mean, this notion of when the president was thanking the First Lady, and we saw that a very obviously emotional moment, that connection. What kind of legacy is the First Family leaving behind?
Yeah, I totally agree. It's a post-partisan kind of thing. It's been a real family. They've raised kids in the White House. They've done a miraculous job, in my opinion, of shielding them from the very difficult political circumstances that surround being a first family. Model parents in that regard, and they've carried on a love affair, that the American public gets to glimpse into every now and then, and they saw a little of it tonight. And I think they haven't made a spectacle of it. I mean, they've done a great job, and I think by and large everybody could agree that they haven't been embarrassed by this family, and that always can't be said by the first family, and that frankly there'll probably be times when they come back into the public view, and there'll be great nostalgia for their leadership. So I think that aspect of it, I agree, is the end of the speech was positive, uplifting. It reminded us that these are real people. And I thought that was the most effective portion of the speech.
Leslie, let me ask you, as someone, you worked in the Bush administration, someone who is well familiar with the pressures of the White House. Let's go back to this notion of the First Family. What kind of legacy do you think they leave behind?
What's interesting about it, he did spend some time talking about the sense of solidarity. And I think there's solidarity here. And when you talk about this First Family, one thing that's interesting about Michelle Obama, she very much stretched the boundaries of what a First Lady would look like. Being a mom, being a very modern mom, having her own professional career and setting that aside so that she could work with and spend time with her children and take that as a top priority. And she also championed several different issues that were important. She became very approachable, both in her style, her carpool karaoke, her policy issues, and even things like the clothes she wears and that her daughters wore that everyday people could go to the store and buy. There was a very different sense of that in a very modern sense. And that coupled with the style, you can't deny how much people like Barack Obama as a person. The policies are where he fell flat, and the execution. But that is a very extreme positive that I think will bring a lot of people together tonight.
All right, I want to bring in Linda Tran right now, CBSN political contributor and Democratic strategist, who is there during the president's speech.
Well, I have to say it was nothing short of electric, especially at certain moments.
We're just looking at some of the more effective moments of the president's speech there last night, farewell speech in Chicago.
Talking about ensuring more than 20 million Americans today.
Of course, just a few more days that it'll be all over for the Obamas at the White House. Let's take a few phone calls here. Good morning. We're having a very open line this morning. Hello.
Hello, Matt. Good morning.
How you doing?
Well, I'm
Okay, thank you. Matt, that speech last night was very emotional, especially towards the end when he was talking about his wife. Matt, if you have a soft heart, a tear had to come from your eye. And Matt, what I took from that speech is when he said, fear undermines democracy. I underline that thing. The great Barack Obama said, fear undermines democracy. So that's what I took from that speech. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Very important there.
They were exiting, and there's
Again, you're hearing it from Obama himself, huh? Fear undermines democracy. What is there to be fearful about? I keep saying that the country does not belong to politicians. It belongs to you and me. Hello. Morning to you.
Matt, I heard Mr. Brain mention something about Mr. Tong.
He said, yes, Mr. Tong should take control.
And I experienced that thing on Monday coming from Astafan. It was terrible.
Uh-oh.
When I looked around, I saw tourists on the road. I said, no, that's not for Dominica. It was really rough.
So the authorities, I'm not saying only Mr. Tong as the tourism minister should take control. Thank you very much. Hello. It's 9:04.
Yeah, morning, Matt.
Yes, sir.
You keep talking about the environmental levy which government picking up on vehicles. It's $3,000 per vehicle, and there's a minimum of 200 vehicles coming to Dominica every month. So that's $600,000 a month, $7.2 million a year. Solid Waste supposed to be picking up.
Mm-hmm.
So Solid Waste is supposed to be the richest company in Dominica. Every time you buy a bottle of water, you pay consumption tax for Solid Waste to get rid of the bottle after. When the cruise ship comes in, they pay, everybody pays. So at the end of the day, everywhere in the world, the
So there should be enough money in the kitty to take care of solid waste.
right, but government is holding back the money and not giving it to Solid Waste. And General Jacob refused to answer.
That's a lot of money. By your own estimates there. So what's really going on with the monies out of the levy there collected on a year-to-year basis? 9:06. Maybe solid waste is not a priority. Hello.
Matt,
Yes.
Matt, let us say something. Matt, when last you saw a garbage truck, not even a garbage truck, a real garbage truck on the road collecting garbage?
It's been some time.
It's either an old dumper with pieces of plywood, the garbage falling from the fella. Sometimes I feel sorry for them, Matt. Because Roosevelt Carriage said money is not a problem. So money should not be a problem for giving the
solid waste
new trucks, or even though it's second-hand truck, something that when it passes, you might not hold your nose for the stench and all those kind of things there. People working without things to work. All year you work, the teachers working without things to work, the hospital working without. It's just one confusion, and money is not a problem. Thank you.
Thank you. Somebody says here, General, I think we need to have a face-to-face conversation sometime in the near future. Okay? If the Solid Waste Authority has changed its collection schedule or has decreased the number of collections per week, they must say so. But for General to come on the radio making excuses why garbage is not collected for over 2 years, it's just being disingenuous. All right, so General, you should come and have a face-to-face conversation with the people of Dominica. A lot of concerns as it relates to garbage collection. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Well, we just need to manage better in Dominica. Overseas managing better than we. I mean, a small country, other smaller countries doing a lot more better in terms of garbage collection, in terms of tourism, agriculture. Here in Dominica, starting from the top, they're doing right. They need to step up their plate. Otherwise, things are going good in Dominica. Bad management everywhere in Dominica. It's not good.
Caller, thank you very much. It's 9:08. Hello.
Good morning, Matt. How are you?
How are you doing, sir?
Not bad. Good morning to your listeners. Matt, you asked, what are they to be fearful of in Dominica, Matt? Matt, intimidation, discrimination, Matt, victimization, Matt, you denigration, Matt. You express your views on a matter, Matt, and you are denigrated. Matt, look at people like, for example, people talking about the garbage situation there this morning. Next thing you're going to hear on a station with all these disparaging comments about these people. Matt, this is what people are afraid of, and so people do not speak. The only people who are allowed to speak are acolytes of the government. I call them yard fowls, political yard fowls. They are the only ones allowed to speak. Anybody else raises an issue, all sorts of things wrong with you. You are a terrorist. You need to be ostracized. You need to be executed. You need to be all sorts of things, man. That is what people are afraid of in Dominica. And who is the cause of that? The government, one man, Roosevelt Skerrit, and his idea to create a dictatorship that even the little babes will be afraid to cry when they are born. Good morning, Matt.
Good morning. Good morning. It's 9:09 in the morning. We're going to go back a bit there to the issue of diplomatic passports. Let's listen to Mr. Skerrit in recent times on the issue of diplomatic passports.
Let me turn now to the issue of diplomatic passports. We have said more than once that diplomatic passports are not sold under the CBI program or otherwise. We categorically refute the allegation that diplomatic passports are being sold by this government as alleged or at all. It is regrettable that even in the face of constant denial and complete lack of any evidence, that Mr. Linton would persist and insist on repeating his lies that such a practice exists. Over the years, we have had many outstanding non-Dominicans offer their services free of charge to Dominica in their countries of origin. They have served as our ambassadors and trade and investment commissioners in parts of the world where we were unable to be represented by nationals. In a few instances, one or two of those persons have found themselves at odds with the law. But this was never prior to or known to me or the government before we considered them. On the very rare occasions when this occurred, immediate action was taken to revoke the appointments as appropriate. Parliamentarian Linton spoke on Sunday about the alleged sale of diplomatic passports to 3 individuals in particular. I wish now to address each of these allegations. First off, it was said that Bahamian Rudolph King had been issued a diplomatic passport and appointed ambassador to Bahrain. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a lie. Rudolph King never applied for or was ever granted a passport of any sort, whether service, official, or diplomatic, by the government of Dominica. Rudolph King was never appointed ambassador to Bahrain or even ambassador to Bafa State. The government of Dominica has refuted this allegation by Linton on several occasions over the past 12 years. Yet, he persists in repeating it, this time on international television. I call on Lennox Linton one more time to put up or shut up. To Lennox Linton, I say, provide evidence of Rudolph King having been issued a Dominica passport or having been appointed ambassador to Bahrain. If you cannot do this, then do the decent thing and apologize to the people of Dominica. Secondly, Linton claims that attempts were made to appoint Francisco Corralo to the FAO while he was on an international crime watch list. This again is a lie. In June of 2011, the government of Dominica wrote to the Italian government requesting a no objection to the appointment of Corallo as its representative to the FAO. The Italian government was concerned in about October, November 2011 that Corallo had considerable business interests in Italy and was not comfortable agreeing to him becoming a diplomat to the FAO. That was the right of the Italian government to do, and this put an end to the matter. At this time, Corallo was recognized as a successful businessman and was at this time given in 2011 a clean bill of health by the Ministry of Interior and Foreign Affairs of Italy. It was almost a full year later that reports surfaced of Corallo's name appearing on an international watch list. By this time, the pursuit of his appointment had already ended because of Italy's concerns about his expansive business operations in that country. The Italian authorities never once made reference to any concerns about his integrity, alleged criminal background, or watch list. So it was false and malicious of Lennox Linton to give the impression that at the time of the government's request for Italy's consent to his appointment, Corallo was on an international watch list. That was simply not true. The facts, as made public before, clearly shows that the correspondence to Italy was dispatched in June 2011, and Corallo's name first appeared on an international watch list in late 2012. Incidentally, Corallo has to date not been convicted of any major crime, as suggested by the program on Sunday. So that is lie number 2. The third person of interest named by Linton on Sunday was Daizani Alison Madwicki, a former head of the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, OPEC, and senior minister of the government of Nigeria. Alison Madwicki was also the recipient of Forbes magazine's Best of Africa Award in Leadership. This is the sterling record which Alison Madwicki had when I invited her to serve as a voice and face of Dominica in Africa, and a continent that lies untapped to most countries in the region. It was sometime after I spoke to Alison Madwicki that she was approached by British authorities and detained for questioning in the United Kingdom. She has up to date not been charged with any crime and is not wanted by any country. She currently resides in London, England, a free woman. However, when the news broke of her detention, the government of Dominica voiced its concerns publicly and made clear that its association with Alison Madwicki was suspended until such time as she was cleared of all suspicion of wrongdoing. As I said earlier, to date, no charges have been brought, but still the government of Dominica has no connection with the former international figure, based on the concerns as expressed back then by the British authorities. So again, it was downright wrong and misleading of Lennox Linton to suggest, one, that the government of Dominica had approached her, knowing her to be a criminal, and also the government of Dominica had never commented on her detention publicly. Nothing could be further from the truth, as an official statement on the matter was promptly issued. Lennox Linton made these sweeping allegations, and once again, as was the case in the Huffington Post interview of 2015, he never produced a single shred of evidence to support his allegations. But today, Dominica is black-eyed in the eyes of the world because of the reckless and dangerous utterances of one who aspires one day to lead this country. Lennox Linton also lied when he said I'd never answer questions or respond to these matters. The government of Dominica has on 2 occasions disclosed the names of all diplomats to the parliament, once in 2009 and again in 2012. Further, public statements and releases were issued by me or the respective ministry on the matters mentioned by Linton. Yet on Sunday, Linton gave the international community the impression that there is some sort of covert clandestine attempt on the part of the government to conduct its affairs in a less than open and transparent manner. Why a member of Parliament of Dominica, who fancies himself as a future leader of this country, would wish to portray such an image of Dominica to the international community is mind-boggling, to say the least.
When invited on a matter of this nature, which I think to be of significant national interest, regional interest, and international interest as well, because we are selling our passports and our citizenship in the international community for the benefit of easing travel restrictions for certain persons on one side of the world who want to go to certain countries on another side of the world. That's what we're doing. And we're making money from that, but it has to be done in such a manner that it does not present us as dangers to global security, as hindrances to the global fight against money laundering and terrorism. These few words are what caused all the issue. The price of the citizenship, $100,000 US. To date, with all that has been said, absolutely no contradiction of that truth and that fact. Do you have to come to live in Dominica? No, you don't. You don't even have to come to Dominica to get the citizenship. You pay the money from wherever you are. Statement of truth, statement of fact, not contradicted. But they said, I should not have said the truth. I should not have said the fact. I should have said something else. Because saying the truth and saying the fact in this instance is an act of airing dirty laundry in public. What dirty laundry? They have not disclosed the dirty laundry, but obviously they know that there is dirty laundry. And then the correspondent asked, sort of just mail order citizenship? And I said, sort of, something like that. That again has caused great consternation because I was supposed to have corrected the view of the correspondent. But in my head, the one that God gave me and the one in which he put a brain, mail order connotes that a transaction has been completed. Someone has somebody's money and that person has somebody else's good or service without face-to-face contact between buyer and seller. That for me is the fundamental of mail order. We do not face each other. The government representing the people of Dominica does not face citizens from other countries seeking to purchase Dominican citizenship. As a matter of fact, they said, do not come to the government if you want our citizenship. Go to our agents. And what do the agents do? They set up these modern-day catalogs, which we call websites, where people can log on from anywhere in the world and see what you have to offer in terms of citizenship and make their requests right there online. This is modern-day mail order. And I'm not concerned about all the steps in the process because obviously there's due diligence. And I didn't say there was no due diligence. I simply said it is a sort of mail order citizenship because in my head there is no contact between the buyer and the seller in the transaction. And then I said we had a passport, diplomatic passport, in the hands of Francesco Corallo, who at the time was on Interpol's most wanted list of international criminals. Statement of truth and fact. Mr. Skirch tries to discount it, but up till now he cannot tell you the precise date on which the diplomatic passport of Francesco Corallo was either revoked or withdrawn. To this day, 2017 January. Steve Croft spoke about Rudolph King. And I simply said, I didn't know why we needed an ambassador in Bahrain, but they thought, meaning the government, that there was some benefit to us. Are you going to quarrel about that? It's they making the decision. So, whether I have spoken to the Prime Minister about these matters, in December of 2015, I wrote to the Prime Minister asking specifically, for example, about the circumstance under which Diezani Alison Madueke, the former Nigerian Oil Services Minister, received a passport, a diplomatic passport of the Commonwealth of Dominica. That's December 2015. More than a year have passed. More than a year have passed. We have received no response. I'm not aware that the Prime Minister responds to these matters, except for the time some years ago when he told the nation, go to hell. It is none of your damn business where Labour Party gets this and that from. I didn't want to go on CBS and say that. I wanted to protect the Prime Minister from truths that he has told and been involved in, which I believed would have shamed us in the international community. And so we learned in that program from CBS News that the citizenship by investment business has become a $2 billion US industry. They also told us, quote, it's brought in huge amounts of revenue for the sellers and has attracted among the buyers a rogues gallery of scoundrels, fugitives, tax cheats, and possibly much more. These are not the words of Lennox Linton. These are the words of a 45-year-old reputable news organization in the United States of America whose annual revenue for the program alone is in excess of $300 million, the equivalent of 300 million EC dollars. What sort of influence could Lennox Linton have on such an organization to influence them into doing a story on Dominica? I do not know. But what they have told us is of the evidence that they have found of a rogue gallery of passport buyers from Dominica. And we know the names, we know the players. It is a very serious security problem that CARICOM leaders are duty-bound to address because there's a security risk. And that was articulated for the people of Dominica and people around the world by Peter Vincent, who until 2014 was the top legal advisor for U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, which is part of the Department of Homeland Security in the United States. What did he say? Quote, they are not transparent programs, which is the concern we have. There are not safeguards in place. In my opinion, the global community has established a very effective global security architecture to prevent terrorist attacks. I see these cash for citizenship programs as a gaping hole in that security architecture.
They're not transparent programs. They're not safeguards in place.
Until 2014, Peter Vincent was the top legal advisor for U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, part of the Department of Homeland Security, which he says is well aware of all the vulnerabilities. In fact, the person in line to take over Homeland Security, General John F. Kelly, expressed concern in a report last year that cash for passport programs could be exploited by criminals, terrorists, or other nefarious actors.
Does that present a security threat, do you think? It does. In my opinion, the global community has established a very effective global security architecture to prevent terrorist attacks. I see these cash for citizenship programs as a gaping hole in that security architecture.
The passport issue is not going away. Somebody from London writes this morning, bullshit, man. This woman is held here in London in an embassy like the Swedish whistleblower. She ain't no free woman. Dominicans need to start doing their own research. You're talking about Madueke there, huh? expect more of the news will surface as it relates to the diplomatic passports in a few days. Parliamentarian Dr. Thomson Fontaine has indicated to me that I have a documentary proof of the sale of diplomatic passports and the various criminals. Check my Facebook timeline. I would like to read that out to the Dominican public. So any day now, according to what I'm picking up from parliamentarian Dr. Thomson Fontaine, that he has proof of the sale of diplomatic passports, and according to him, the various criminals. Check his Facebook line. You'll be hearing of that in the next few days. It's 9:30 in the studios of 449-3095, 449-3096, and 449-3097. A challenge has been out. Of course, I will be talking to the opposition leader in a few minutes here. He has an expose as it relates to the diplomatic passports that you might be wanting to listen to. It's 9:31 in the morning. Talk to me.
Yes, good morning, Matt. Good morning, Matt. Keep doing that good work. I hope you organize an interview with Sam Raphael, my brother. I don't want to hear about no lawyer thing or nothing. I hope he comes on that radio and deals with these new things that we're finding out about him. He was quick to come and defend the program. I hope he doesn't hide behind a lawyer, but he comes on the radio and deals with these things that we're finding out. There's much more to come, man. We're going to explode this place.
All right, well, I'll find out. I don't know what you're talking about just yet, but I'm sure in time I will be listening and observing. Hello, talk to me.
Matt,
morning to you. Yes.
And your listeners again. Kerry must come clean with the people of Dominica. We don't trust him. While passport was selling left, right, and center, if it was not for Honorable Lennox Linton, Dominicans would have been in the dark. That's a statement of fact. He must come out there and lay it on the table as to how many passports was sold, the amount of money that was collected, where the money was spent, because all we hearing of millions and billions, millions and billions. He have not clarified that $1.5 million that went to a private account, which is an ambassador who surrounds himself within the Labour Party. He has not cleared that. And he have not told us We heard it from Tony Astafan, who is not an elected or member of parliament, that the $400,000 of Susan Oldie, the diplomatic passport, was spent in the Labour Party. He must not bypass those things. He must come clean with the people. And it doesn't matter what he comes out and say, we will not believe him because he has always been a stranger to the truth. Matt, where is the churches? Where is the bishop to intervene? Where is the organization? Where is Peter R. Augustine? Where is those people that always like to say, put Dominica first, put Dominica first? Where are these people today, Matt? Dominica is crying.
Thank you. Somebody says, Matt, check something out. Skerritt said that he wrote the Ministry of Interior and External Affairs in Italy or of Italy. There is no Ministry of External and Internal Affairs in Italy. Not now, not in 2011. These were two separate ministries in 2011. So who exactly did he write to? Somebody's asking in a WhatsApp message. Hello.
Good morning.
Yes.
Yeah, Matt, I want to make a contribution in respect to solid waste, you know.
Can you do that a little later?
Okay, good, no problem.
All right, thank you very much. Hello, talk to me.
Matt, just look at how much the Prime Minister has not been speaking the truth. And he's supposed to be ashamed of himself because he embarrassed himself. He told us that Petit Savan is going to be back on its feet through Petro-Carby money. Now Lennox Linton went on 60 Minutes, a different twist. He's telling us now that the houses is going to build from the passport form. These are the kind of things that the journalists need to put to Mr. Skerritt. That's why he will never come on Q95.
So it was Venezuelan money. Now you're saying that it's CBI money.
Yes, so it's two different things, Matt. So when you get in touch with him, ask him that question, which I doubt you will ever get in touch, because he's listening to the program. He only goes on program where he have a veil in front of him and he shield. That's what he do. He will not go and debate with Honorable Lennox Linton. I bet my last dollar he will not do it because he cannot speak, man. He doesn't have this. Matt, words are not enough to describe the leader we have. Matt, the world is laughing at us, you know. The whole world is laughing at us. Millions and billions. Look at the state of our roads. Farmers are balling. Teachers are balling. Look at the state of building in this country. People cannot send their children to school. Things are rough. Things are tough. But we're talking about And while we're talking of millions and billions, just look at what they're taking for themselves and look at what they're giving the poor people. Plywood without no toilet, Matt. And if they do give you a toilet, they give you pit toilet. But just go to Vickers and you will see what he built for himself. Go to Portsmouth down there, Matt. You will see the villas. You will just see what they're taking for themselves, how much they are enriching themselves, while the poor people are catching hell.
I'll tell you what, I'll be talking to Lennox Linton in the next few minutes there. There seems to be some new information as it relates to this diplomatic passport. So hello, talk to me. Hello.
Who I'm talking to?
Hello.
This is Q95.
Yes, it is.
Please, can you help me? I've been trying a long time, and I cannot get anybody. I'm half blind, and I'm 83 years old, and they don't want to come and help me, the government, no. All what I try, I'm living between Calypso and Coriho, Mont Blanc, and I can't get nobody but there.
You can't get anybody to help you, sir.
It's only you that helped me before. When the government maybe see that I don't vote for them, they abandon me.
You're 83 years old, sir?
83 years old.
And where is your location?
I'm living between Calypso and Coriho, Mont Blanc, in the bush there.
What is it that you need, sir?
Pardon?
What is it that you need?
Well, I need a help because if they can take me to the infirmary or somewhere, I had a cousin that helping me, but not much doing for me. You only go for my little pension. But I can't get anybody else to help me. You helped me before because when you helped me, you asked them about that.
Yes, I remember that you called in and some people came in to help. Yes.
That was quite a while ago.
And nobody has followed up.
Pardon?
Nobody else has followed up.
No.
All right, I'm hoping that somebody can reach out there to this gentleman there in Mont Blanc between Collio and Coolibay Street. He's saying that he is in need of some urgent help. So please, somebody out there, reach out to this gentleman, the 83 years old, find out what is it that he needs. And of course, if we can do something about it, let's all do it together, okay? 9:38 in the morning. Hello, talk to me. 9:38.
Good morning, Matt.
Yes.
I saw Mr. Skerritt on TV a couple of days ago.
Uh-huh.
The CBI money benefits every Dominican. That is a big fat lie. How can a prime minister be coming on television and lying, Matt? No, Matt, the people who sell in the passport, the agents, there's one thing to bring in the money in the treasury. That's if you sell 100,000, you bring in the money.
Right.
How much they're selling it, nobody knows. So if you sell it for 300,000, he give the government 100,000. He has 200,000, and nobody knows who's sharing who, with who is sharing the money. So all these questions, and now they're saying that they need to educate the public. Now after CBS and all the world get to know about that passport scam, now they're talking about, Nasif and I'm talking about, they should educate the public. And not Sam Raphael, he should not get no money for his hotel anymore. He get money already. So once people getting money,
As I told you a few minutes ago that we will be connecting with the opposition leader Lennox Linton, there seemed to be some new information as it relates to the diplomatic passports. Lennox Linton, good morning to you.
Good morning, Master. Good morning to the people of Concord and Margot. Good morning to the people of Dominica, our brothers and sisters at home and abroad.
Well, we've heard from the Prime Minister in recent times that there seemed to be no evidence, if you will, and others, as it relates to, what's going down with our diplomatic passports. What can you tell us at this time? Any new evidence coming forward, Mr. Lennox Linton?
No, it's a question of putting things in perspective, man. The Prime Minister makes a categorical statement in his press conference that there is no evidence of that diplomatic passports are not being sold and there's no evidence of it. Since 2004, man, do you remember the name Susan Oldie?
I remember that.
Susan Oldie paid for a diplomatic passport, She made a contribution of $400,000 to the campaign of the Dominica Labour Party. And in exchange for that, she was given a diplomatic passport for herself and one for a business partner, Christopher Thompson. I consider that, and we in the United Workers' Party consider that to be payment for a diplomatic passport. Because as far as we know, Susan Oldie has not been involved in the international diplomacy of Dominica. Have you heard anything that she has done for us?
No.
In diplomatic circles?
Nope.
But she had a diplomatic passport that was given to her by Roosevelt Skerritt back in 2004. And the only other connection we were aware of with Dominica was that she made a contribution of $400,000, which was wired to the account of Citizens for Better Dominica, a Labour Party outfit that Mrs. Skerritt was aware of.
So this money didn't go into the consolidated fund?
No, it didn't go into the consolidated fund. It went to the Labour Party. And the Labour Party operatives like Anthony Astafan at the time confirmed that it was Labour Party money that was received for the campaign.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're paying campaign money to a party, a political party, and you're receiving from the government now, from the Prime Minister, the party that you've given the money to, a diplomatic passport, the people of the country whose passports you have dealt with in that way can come to the logical, only sensible contribution that you have sold the diplomatic passport. You had the case of David Sue. David Sue was Dominica's ambassador in Beijing after 2004. But while David Sue was ambassador to Beijing, a lot of strange things happened. And there was one time he confessed that he had given the Prime Minister and ministers of his government, I don't know if you remember this, Matt, watches, jewelry, clothing, computers, cash money. And he also paid for their sexual entertainment in Macau. What this means is this diplomat in the service of Dominica in Beijing enjoyed privileges of diplomacy, of the diplomats enjoy around the world, diplomatic passport, ease of travel, etc., as a result of him bribing ministers of government, paying them for what they gave to him. There was a case of Bobby Wahi, who is on record offering £100,000 for the ministers of government who facilitated him in being named consul general or honorary consul for the consulate that the government had set up in Malaga, Spain. After the Spanish authorities had asked him, well, why would you need a consulate in Malaga, Spain? There are no Dominicans living there. There are no economic ties between Malaga and Dominica. What do you need a consulate there for? Anyway, they insisted, and the Spanish government allowed it, and Bobby Wahi emerged as the gentleman who was going to be consul general. He was going to be the diplomat representing Dominica in that area. And as a result of that, he wrote to his handlers, we have a copy of the email, where he's offering £100,000 as a gratuity for those in the government who helped him to secure that position. You have the case of Timothy Cornwall. Not much is known about him. This is the gentleman who was doing diplomatic work for Dominica when he was held for bank fraud and jailed for bank fraud in the United Kingdom. And then you have the famous cases of Francesco Corallo and Alison Madwicki of more recent times. My contention is, and the conclusion of our political party, is that both Francesco Corallo and Madwicki have diplomatic passports to the Commonwealth of Dominica that they paid for. Mr. Skerritt, when he spoke at his press conference, even that recently, 2017, cannot tell us the date of the revocation of the passports of these people who had them at the time that they were found to be entangled with the law in their separate countries. Why is that? Because these people paid for their passports, and because Mr. Skerritt and whoever else received the money have no intention of refunding the money, they can't revoke the passports. If you're going to revoke the passport, you must pay me back the money I gave to you. It's as simple as that. But the fact that you will not refund me means that you have deprived yourself of the moral obligation to ask me for the passport or to revoke the passport. And there's something else. We asked in Parliament on the 19th of October 2017 for the names of persons outside of the Parliament who are holding diplomatic passports of Dominica. And if there are any such persons holding diplomatic passports of Dominica who had those passports revoked or withdrawn, the dates of the withdrawal or the revocation. Francine Barron, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, refused to answer. And she refused to answer because she knows very well that the answer to that, the truthful answer to that question, would give the people of Dominica the information they need about the status of diplomatic passports in Dominica. And Matt, all of that is explained in detail on my Facebook page. It's a piece entitled Diplomatic Passports for Sale. The people of Dominica who are interested can go there, go to my Facebook page and have a look for yourself. Take your time, listen carefully. And on my Facebook page as well, you will find a piece which I did more recently entitled Cash for Passports, the Cash for Passport process. This now, Matt, finally, is a very important process that the people of Dominica must understand. And this is information that is coming to us in recent times, especially since the airing of the CBS News 60 Minutes story. We've been hearing from persons on the inside. We've been hearing from people who've actually purchased Dominican passports. And that has allowed us to put together a sort of flow chart of the process that begins with the agent filing an application on behalf of the person who wants the passport. The application going to due diligence. The application either passing or failing due diligence. If it fails, the application is rejected. If it passes due diligence, then the Citizenship by Investment Unit issues a letter of approval. With that letter of approval now, the applicant and or his agent makes a payment to the government of Dominica of its $100,000. When that payment is made and the Citizenship by Investment Unit has proof of the payment to the government of the $100,000, the CBI unit issues a certificate of naturalization on the basis of which a Dominica passport is issued. We have heard that there are instances where the process is circumvented at the stage where the Citizenship by Investment Unit issues the letter of approval. And rather than go to the step of making the payment and the CBI unit having proof of payment, the CBI unit is issuing a certificate of naturalization without proof of payment of the money so that the person can go and get their passport. In those instances, this is a matter where money is paid, but the money is not ending up in the public treasury or in the public passport fund. The money is somewhere else. And that is why we talk about transparency. That's why we say this procedure, this process lacks transparency, and the government needs to pay attention to it. There's also the matter of issuing certificates of naturalization after the letter of approval. Not in Dominica, but in Dubai. And our understanding is when those certificates of naturalization are issued in Dubai, there is no proof that monies from the passport purchaser has been deposited into the government, into the public fund, passport fund. So all of the talk you hear about transparency, when we scrutinize the process, we find gaping holes in the transparency and the accountability for the monies of Dominica. And it is time for the government to stop making scapegoats. It is time for the government to stop crucifying people who are dedicated to telling the truth and to ensuring that righteousness will exalt Dominica and to prevent sin from being a reproach to our people. What the government needs to do is to stop this senseless campaign of lies, deception, and propaganda against those who have asked for and are demanding in the public interest transparency and accountability, full transparency, full accountability for citizenship by investment monies in Dominica. Because as I'm pointing out to you this morning, Matt, there are concerns, there are legitimate concerns as to where these monies are ending up. Do you remember that the CBI operative in Dominica who transferred $1.5 million to his personal account and claimed that the source of funds was the sale of passports?
I heard, yes.
Well, you heard that, right?
Mm-hmm.
You see from what we're talking about this morning how that could have happened? How somebody right there from within the unit could be taking advantage of money that does not belong to them? You see how that could happen?
Very clear.
Good.
Well, I'll tell you what, we'll continue tomorrow. This is just another episode of this passport scandal, they say. We're going to come back, Dominica, with the Muslim story right after this. This discussion on the passports will continue in the morning.
More megabytes, better prices. Choose how you move on the go with Digicel's new best data value plans starting from $2.50. Digicel has expanded your prepaid data options with the addition of 3 7-day data plans of up to 1 gigabyte, 3 30-day plans of up to 3 gigabytes, plus a 1-day and 14-day data plan. Activate today by dialing *140# and enjoy data plans at the best value. Digicel. Be extraordinary.
Available at Drive.
Look at this face.
Somebody said I should play the song for Karen as soon as she steps in, huh?
Look at this life.
Are you hearing that, Brad? Are you hearing this? Somebody said I should play this for Karen as soon as she steps in.
But I know I love you.
Uh-oh.
That may be all I need to know.
Look at these eyes.
And now Karen is blushing all over, boy. Karen, who's this guy? I know somebody sent me a WhatsApp too.
I didn't know that.
You didn't know. Play the song for Karen as soon as she steps in.
Really?
Brad, do you know?
Is it from you, Brad?
Brad, do you know Brad?
You know I sing my songs to you personally. I don't.
You don't request.
I don't request.
No.
You see, we are in the store for most of the time, so whenever she wants to hear me sing, I just go to the back.
Oh my God.
And do a lullaby.
Brad, it's a beautiful day on the outside. Please don't make it rainy soon.
Yeah. For the entire 2016, you have been telling our listeners that you will sing. A lot of people have been telling me, Brad, please tell Karen that she should sing for us.
I should sing.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. We'll see if that happens. We'll
It's
see.
the Calypso season now, you know, so
Yeah. We'll talk Calypsos. But Brad, what's going on at the Muslim store?
Muslim store. Usually I don't start the program, so I'm gonna send it to Karen.
All right, Karen.
Good morning to you, Max. Good morning to Brad. Good morning to Dominica, the Eastern Caribbean. And if it's your first time, welcome to the Muslim Store program. And to all the villagers of Eggleston and Jordan, just want to say good morning to all those who listen to Matt in the morning. This is my communities, right? So we are here to talk about all the wonderful things available at the Muslim Store. Good morning to you, Brad.
Good morning, Karen. Good morning to everyone who's listening via the internet, or if you're just in your car or you're walking along the streets of Roseau in anywhere in Dominica. I'm not even Dominica alone. They have everywhere in the world. It's funny how everybody in the world listening to Matt in the morning. After they comment, where is Brad? Okay. Good morning to everyone. Basically, well. We are here today to tell you Karen said everything in the store. That's impossible today. We'd have to use the entire week to talk about everything in the store. To talk about car stereos. And Matt, for the season we have left all the other brands. We are only dealing with the top brands right now. Because we realized that Dominicans want top things. They want A-class things, and they don't want to be in their car trying and figure out. They want the simplicity. They look good, plays well,
right?
But it's simple to use. And with great brands such as Pioneer and Sony, what better can you get from that? The only better you can get is only if God created a car stereo for you.
You're talking Pioneer.
Sony.
That's top brands.
These are top brands, Matt.
At the best prices?
Best prices, Matt. You just need to come down at the Muslim store, and at the end, not at the end, I'm going to tell you something that most of us didn't even know. But firstly, I'm going to tell you what you can receive. Not just the single DIN, but you can also get the double DIN.
Okay.
And some people might wonder, what are the double DINs or what are the single DINs? Well, if you're not so into the car stereo systems, then you know that that I will tell you that the single DIN is like basically having a normal car stereo system where you have a 2-inch by height, 5-inch wide car stereo system, and a double DIN. Then you will double the height.
Let's put it together.
Let's put one on top of the other.
Let's imagine one on top together. Yes.
And not just, you don't only get FM radio or Bluetooth or a port to have auxiliary or a USB port. You also have a screen. So you have a screen that comes up, that flips up with the single DIN, and with the double DIN you have a huge screen, a 7-inch screen, where you can actually see a little bit of a film, or if you have if you're in your car with your children or family members, and you know Calypso season is out, and you have the great Dominicans on the street side selling the videos of the Calypso shows.
You can see that right there.
You can be in your car and view your videos, you know. And I mean, from since 2013 I've been telling Karen to get one for her car, but she never listens to me. She never listens to me.
You're joking.
Yeah, man.
But he promised to buy me one for Christmas. But
a double dinner single.
So it's the 10th and I have not received anything from Brad.
Matt, anytime I promise to buy her one, she calling me 3 o'clock in the morning. Oh, brother, the stereos that we got yesterday.
In the morning?
I bazudi. I mean, yes, it's peace. You tell me, how can I possibly remember? That's not the right Karen. So, I mean, because usually around these times we do a lot of traveling, like let's say we go from point A in Dominica to point B. And no one likes to be in a car where you have no entertainment.
Right.
And in my perspective, I wish Matt in the morning was for the entire day.
Wow.
You know, so basically you have some entertainment, you have something to keep you vibrant, to have you thinking, to have you talking throughout the day, you know. So Muslims.
So you think I should go on for a couple hours in the day?
For the entire day, Matt. You why you sleeping for? I don't understand that. You should be on from 12 in the night to 12 the next night and keep going and going. You see,
I get that all the time. I wonder when would I sleep?
You don't need to sleep, Matt.
No, you just bring my dinner, my breakfast and lunch.
Yeah,
just keep Matt on the radio.
Yeah, just keep you there, man. I don't know. You should make a robot of yourself or something. You know.
I make a duplicate.
Yeah,
I make a duplicate.
Something that can stay 24/7.
So we'll keep the radio excited all day.
All day long. You don't know how important you are in Dominica, man.
I'm not just in Dominica.
Brad is making me blush.
Stop it, Matt. Stop it, Matt.
So what else is at the Muslim store?
No, before we go to there.
Yeah, tell me.
Because we have, what else you might say, we have digital cameras, we have camcorders. But the thing about this store is that most of us don't even know that you can actually get more of a discount by purchasing online. You know, what's this site name? Karen?
www.buymuslim.com.
You used to sing it before, you're not even singing it again. Now you can actually get 50%, half off, 50%, half off on the cash price if you purchase online. So if you go on www.buymuslim.com, then you can actually get 50% off from these things, whether it's a car stereo system or digital camera or camcorder, then you can get 50% off. If you come to the store and you really want to see Brad, then you don't get 50% off. You get something like 15% off from the original price. But if you're purchasing online, so whether you are in Japan, Chinatown, New Jersey, I know my father is listening right now. He's always listening, actually. Or you're here right here in Dominica, then a great gift, if you want to give someone a gift from all the way, you just purchase it from online and you get 50% off. You purchase it in the store, then you get 15% off. 50. If you don't understand 50, it's like buying a Mastiff and giving Karen half and taking half. So you get 50% off from the actual price. You know?
And we just want to remind our listeners that we have our different purchase plans, like our 21-day plan, where you go down to the store, you choose whatever car stereo that you like. Yeah. You make a deposit of half of the amount, you go with it, you play your music, and you come back to play in 3 months, in 3 weeks.
Ooh.
We also have our layaway plans as well, where you will get the discounted price, but you have 3 months to complete the balance. We also do our high purchase plans as well, where you bring in your last pay slip, your ID, or if your workplace does deductions, to give you a deduction form, you get it stamped and returned to us, and you get your items the same day. So these are just our easy purchase plans available at the Muslim store. Our 21-day plan, where no one on the island has it, only at the Muslim store. Our layaway plans, and also our high purchase plans.
There's a lot happening at the Muslim social. Check them out on the corner of Damien Jr. Charles Boulevard. And tell me, Brad.
You say that's so sweet. I still have a hard time saying that.
But you've conquered it now.
I think so, you know.
So tell me.
You genius. when we come back, I don't think I have it.
Or you can call us for more information at 448-2811. That's 448-2811.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Matt.
Right next week, I expect you to say Dame Eugenia Charles Boulevard and Kennedy Avenue.
Oh, that's how you say it? Well, I can do that, man. Dame Eugenia Charles Boulevard and Kennedy Avenue. That's right?
Thank you.
Wow.
Downstairs, Digicel.
Main office.
Main office. You see? All right. Okay. Next week. Thank you. Thank
God
you.
spares.
Thank you.
I don't know much, but I know I love you. That may be all I need to know.
Look at these eyes, they've never seen matter. Look at this dream, so big and so better.
Hellfires with Joel is coming up in the next few minutes. I do apologize. No news out there this morning.